It's time for our world lead. It's a manhunt that seems to be quickly turning into a high-stakes game of Where's Waldo? Only there's no telltale striped hat to help us pull Edward Snowden out of the crowd. So where is he? Right now, no one really seems to know. We do think he left Hong Kong yesterday when he was reportedly seen on a flight to Russia. Meanwhile, speaking from his hideout in Ecuador's London embassy, WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange stood by his support for Snowden in a conference call with reporters, saying that Snowden was with a WikiLeaks spokesperson and was both healthy and safe.
This morning, the U.S. Secretary of State called Edward Snowden a traitor. Edward Snowden is not a traitor. He is not a spy. He is a whistleblower who has told the public an important truth.
But Assange would not give up the location of the WikiLeaks activist and Edward Snowden. So where could they be? Well, there are a few theories and endless possibilities. They could be sitting in the Moscow airport. The Russian Foreign Ministry has said that Snowden has not entered Russia, implying that he remains somewhere on the transit side of airport immigration. He could also potentially be hiding on Aeroflot 150. That's the flight scheduled to land in Cuba in about 2.5 hours from now. The flight plan, which the aircraft appears to be following, takes a route right over the mid-Atlantic United States. CNN's Phil Black is on board that flight. Last we heard before takeoff, there was no sign of Snowden on the flight. Still, a van reportedly pulled up alongside the plane right before departure, and someone was seen boarding. We'll bring you the latest as soon as that plane touches down. But there's also another flight that had filed a flight plan to leave Moscow for Havana just after noon Eastern time today. That plane was listed as an Airbus A330Q. Other planes with that Q designation have taken flight paths that avoid U.S. airspace, but ground crews in Moscow are now denying to CNN that there was ever such a flight scheduled. Wherever he is, the White House says they are outraged that China let Snowden slip through their fingers yesterday when he fled Hong Kong.
To your question about the Chinese government, we are just not buying that this was a technical decision by a Hong Kong immigration official. This was a deliberate choice by the government to release a fugitive despite a valid arrest warrant, and that decision unquestionably has a negative impact on the U.S.-China relationship.